Welcome back. It's not always the easiest subjects to talk about, but it is one of the most important a time when it comes to celebrating and honoring a loved one.
Yes, I know. And do you know who to turn to make sure it's done how you like? Well, let us introduce you to Mullins Memorial.
Families helping families. That is what Mullins Memorial is all about. And I'm so happy to be joined this morning once again with owner and mortician Shannon Mullins. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're going to be talking about, again, I love that, families helping families. And we're going to talk about this morning about families helping veterans and veterans' families. And talk a little bit about kind of the death benefits that go along with veterans. I think people don't necessarily realize maybe what, all is entitled to them. But first, what do you think specific veterans are entitled to?
Well, I think that it's important to let folks know that we specialize in veterans benefits and assisting families that have a loved one who passed that was a veteran. Veterans are entitled to a few what I call core benefits. That's they're entitled to the United States flag. They're also entitled to military honors for active duty military. That doesn't have to be presented at the funeral home. It doesn't have to be presented at a cemetery. It can be in the privacy of your own home if that's what you choose. As well, if a family chooses, they're entitled to placement at a national cemetery, and that benefit is afforded to a veteran as well as the spouse of a veteran, and that would include the burial plot as well as opening and closing of the grave, outer burial containers, markers, a significant value versus having to go to a local cemetery and purchase those items. The federal government equates the value of what they give a veteran at the time of death in their cemeteries to approximately $15,000.
Oh, wow. What's really nice, too, is you were telling me that you take care of a lot of these arrangements for families. We all know how overwhelming, a death can be for a family, and these are some things that you can help families with.
I sincerely believe it's my responsibility as a funeral home owner, funeral director, to take that burden off of a grieving family and handle all of the paperwork process for them as much as we possibly can. There are some things that the Veteran Administration wants the family to handle, but as a rule of thumb, coordinating and setting up service details, that's certainly 100% my responsibility.
And I do know, I want you to mention that there is a piece, there is one form that's really just the one form that you need to kind of prove that they were a veteran, but they have to be honorably discharged, correct?
That's right. That's exactly right. Older veterans, such as some of your World War II veterans, they have what's called just an honorable discharge. Later it became called DD-214, known as the Department of Defense Form 214. That is your honorable discharge. That's what allows us to reach out to the federal government and arrange for any services that you might need.
For families to know, that they need that. Talk about the national cemeteries, and I understand there is, there's one in Sarasota that I believe is the newest one in the country now, right?
It is. It is. It's approximately 4 years old. It's about an hour and a half from our door to their gate. And just a phenomenal new cemetery. If you've never been there, I would highly suggest you take a ride and take a look. Absolutely. They just opened up what's called Patriot Plaza, and Patriot Plaza is phenomenal. They just have some unbelievable war monuments there. Very beautiful. Veterans have the choice at Sarasota National of being, if their body is cremated, to be placed in a columbarium niche, or they can be placed in the ground as well if they choose burial. Obviously, they have the option of placement there at Sarasota as well.
But whether they pick Sarasota or somewhere else, whether it be in Arlington, I mean, again, you can help with those plans and making sure that the arrangements are done correctly.
Absolutely. We can assist with coordinating services for any national cemetery in the country.
Now, this is a question I think some people may have. Does the Veterans Administration actually ever pay for funeral expenses?
They do. They do pay for a portion of the expenses. There's a couple of qualifying factors that determine if someone does or does not get that assistance. For instance, if a veteran is 100% disabled, then the VA is going to contribute $2,000 toward cremation or burial allowance. Burial allowance. They also will contribute if you die in a VA facility such as Bay Pines Hospital in St. Petersburg. They will contribute up to $700 towards cremation allowance or a burial allowance.
Anything else you think veterans or veterans' families should know? When, again, we talk about that pre-planning, how it's so important. Anything else you think they should know?
I just think it's important that they get everything that they're entitled to, or at least educating them on everything they're entitled to. Whether they choose to exercise on a particular option, that's their business, but we certainly want to make sure they're aware of everything they are entitled to.
Well, and again, what I love about Mullins Memorial, it goes back to that families helping families, and what I can tell you guys, you and your wife are very passionate about, is educating people and making sure that they do have all the information in front of them for whatever choice they decide to make, what's best for their family and veterans.
That's exactly right, Carly. That's exactly right. It's none of my business what you choose. It's just my job to educate you on what options are available, and answer any questions with regards to those options, assist with arranging whatever you choose, but ultimately what you choose is your business.
Yeah, well, again, thank you so much for doing that for our community and providing this education for us.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. So thank you so much. We look forward to coming back. For more on Mullins Memorial, all you have to do is head to their website, or you can find it by going through ours, fox4morningblend.com.
And we, of course, want to thank you for starting your morning with us. It's been a good morning. So
Always a good morning starting it with us, right?
And then, as always, you can go to our website on any information that you saw on today's show.
Any guests, log on to our
Maybe try to
Fox
make
4.
your own banana piano at your house.
Quite the,
good luck with that,
I
though.
know.
It's quite the challenge.
Cool thing to do, though, right? Who would have
Only
thought?
here on the blend, yes.
Who would have thunk?
Have a great
for
day,
being with us.
everybody. We, of course, will see you tomorrow.